Hey guys, what's up? It's Sydney and welcome back to my series Haunted Locations. This is going to be my 5th episode, and this week we're going to be talking about the Koknese Castle. That is in Europe. I'm going to actually play it on a pronounce app that I downloaded so that way you guys can hear it. It's really hard, but this is how it's spelled. Can you see it?
Koknese.
So as you could probably tell, I'm going to be using this app a lot during this episode. So let's get started. The beautiful ruins of the Koknese Castle resides in Riga, Latvia. And Riga, Latvia is located in northeast Europe. So Riga is the capital of Latvia. And this beautiful, picturesque city is filled with museums, concert halls, wooden buildings, and even a medieval old town. In the old town, from what I read, this town, the old town specifically, the medieval town that they kind of monetized on, is actually a pedestrian-only town, so there's no vehicles anywhere. The population count was at 637,837 people in 2018. So it's actually the largest city in the Baltics. Baltics?
Baltics.
The ruins are located on a hill on the Perse River. It's P-E-R-S-E, not like purse like we women like to carry. And the Perse River flows into the Daugava? I can't say these words, I'm sorry. So due to this, they tried to conserve the old castle as much as they possibly could. But the tides do some damage to it from the river. So as much as they could, they've conserved it, and it's still a beautiful sight to see today. So the castle itself dates back to about 1209, and the actual first records of it were in the 13th century. So the first mention of the castle is actually in the Chronicle of Henry of Livonia. So the Livonian Chronicle of Henry is actually a document in Latin describing historical events in the medieval times from 1180 to 1227. And this was in the Livonian area, which includes the upland Estonia and north of Livonia as well. So this document actually speaks to the arrival of Vetsek to Bishop Arnold in 1205 on the bank of the Daugava River. This was in the Middle Ages in ancient Livonia and modern Latvia. So the bishop replaced the wooden castle previously built by the Latvians and installed the beautiful, breathtaking stone castle that still stands there today. Although it's a bit worn, it was once a tall, magnificent, and beautiful medieval castle. As history went on, it began to flourish, and it was soon the home to many lords, servants, knights, groundskeepers, and many more. It did, however, eventually become abandoned due to a Saxon cannon blow that was caused by the Great Northern War in 1701. So now we get to the fun part of it, and this is going to be the legend of the Koknese Castle in Riga, Latvia. Now this episode idea was actually sent to me by a Facebook friend, because I do forward my videos to my Facebook friends so they can watch them. But I'm actually gonna read this directly from my phone, because if I would try to remember this, it would be so long. So I'm gonna pull my phone out just to read this off, because it is very, very important to the story. So this is the legend of the Koknese Castle ruins. Once upon a time, a nobleman lived in the Koknese Castle. This nobleman had a daughter who was very beautiful. Father made all her wishes come true. As the daughter was beautiful, there were plenty of men who wanted to marry her. The daughter insisted that the servant should go to her father and ask her for her hand in marriage. So she fell in love with the servant and didn't want any of these lords or anything like that her father who was also like a lord, wanted her to marry. But the servant was too afraid. The young woman got mad and went to her father to announce that she is going to marry a servant. Even though she thought that her father would agree, things turned out quite differently. Her father became so angry that he was absolutely enraged. He gave orders to throw the servant in one of the castle's dungeons and lock his daughter up in the tower room. What an asshole. The nobleman asked both of them to get these stupid ideas out of their heads, but the couple refused. True love, homie. Can't break that up. The nobleman was even more angry and ordered to take the servant to, I'm gonna butcher this, I'm sorry, Zile? It's like Z-I-L-E, but not a dot over the I, it's like a line, I don't know. Where the Rata, R-A-T-A, Rata, ditch was located. Tie the servant to the wheel and let him roll down the hill so that he would be torn into pieces. The daughter saw all this from her window, and as was not able to continue living without her lover, she jumped to her death from the tower. Sad. It's like medieval Romeo and Juliet. So even now, around midday, an image of a beautiful young lady can be seen, and she appears to be sitting on a rock while brushing her hair. And when the bravest ones approach, she disappears. When they run away, she runs after them, thinking they must be her beloved servant. So, thank you so much, Jessie, for sending me this story, because I absolutely fell in love with it, even though I can't pronounce anything. But it's a great story. Honestly, it's really heartbreaking and really tragic if it is true. I really hope that maybe there's some validity to it, because I couldn't find anything really online. Again, because of the time period, also a lot of it was in Latin, like the Chronicle of Henry. That was in Latin because it was from Livonia, so I couldn't read it. I tried to translate some of it, but it was really hard to understand, to be honest. So I don't know if this is a true story or if it's just like a legend, or you know, like a story that they tell Americans when they come to visit, or they tell tourists that come to visit from other countries. I don't know. I don't know if it's real, but if it is real, that's really fucking cool, and I would love to go there, because as you guys have seen throughout the video, I put pictures up, and I just think it's one of the most beautiful places, and I would love to go visit there someday. So you can now, like I said, go there to visit, and you can get a tour, a boat tour of the castle, which is pretty cool.
And then, welcome, the song comes from this place.
So they even have things like you can try your hand at throwing a battle axe, which is pretty fucking sweet, because that's definitely medievally. So it's really kind of cool that you're able to do that there. So you can also learn the games, dances, songs, and a little bit of the language from going on this tour, which is really kind of cool, because Latin has always been one of those languages that I've wanted to learn over everything. It would be so cool to like be able to speak fluent Latin. I don't know, just my opinion. So this is definitely one that I would love to visit. Probably not going to be in my part 2, to be honest with you, because it's in Europe and I'm in the United States, so probably not going to get there, to be honest with you. But I would love to, absolutely love to go there. I think it would be a great vacation, especially to take like your family with or something like that, because I think it's so cool for kids to like hear ghost stories but not be like terribly scared about it. So like I would take my son here, because it'd be, first of all, we'd be there during the day, and second of all, if he did see something cool, I don't think he would be necessarily scared, because we'd be with like a group of people. So this is one that I would even like take my son to. So that this is really awesome, and like the history behind it is just crazy, like the history that I could find, because obviously it was a very long time ago and there's not that much information on it. So I did have to research a little bit more about the country to even kind of understand the history in itself. But like I said, this was a really fun one to do, and I really love the whole medieval theme of it. It's kind of very different from what I've done already, and I love castles and like the history of like the medieval time, and I think it was just so cool to learn about. So if you guys did like this episode, please give it a thumbs up for me and subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification button so you get those notifications when I do post new videos. So you can follow me on Instagram if you want. It's at Sydney's Poisonous, just like my YouTube name. And my jewelry shop, if you like crystals like this and other stuff. This I just posted online. I was just wearing it for my video because I thought it was very appropriate. But you can follow my jewelry shop at Perfect Poison Shop, and the YouTube Instagram, which I'll be posting like picture of what I'm going to be doing, so you can get little hints and stuff on what I'm going to be talking about and maybe look it up before I even show you guys the video, so you know a little bit of back history. It's always cool knowing something, a little bit of something, then going into it. But like I said, I really enjoyed this video, and I want to give a special shout out to Jesse for sending me all of the pictures and stuff, because he was actually there, so that's pretty fucking cool. But yeah, thank you so much, Jesse, for sending me all the pictures and the videos and stuff, and the legends and the stories. Like, he pretty much wrote this fucking episode for me. I just recorded it. So yeah, I just wanted to say thanks. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you like this video, and stay tuned for my next video of haunted locations. I'll see you guys next Wednesday.